the asshole for not telling my parents I'm a furry? For context, my parents are very anti-furry. They hate the community, and no matter what I do, I can't convince them that not all of them are bad. I am friends with a couple and love how supportive the community is. My parents always make fun of them whenever there is something remotely related. So am I the asshole for not saying anything? You are so not the asshole in this situation. In fact, your parents, on the other hand, they are the asshole. Why do they have to harbor so much hate to a community that they don't really even know much about, right? If this is something that you love doing and that you've tried explaining how the community is good and they just completely negate your opinion on that, that's really damaging for you. AIM's verdict is not the asshole. Look at the comments. Most people do not share their kink preferences with their parents. This is typical. Why is that the top comment? It isn't the case, okay? It just isn't. Welcome back to Emma. We've got a lot of good ones today. Am I the asshole for kicking out my furry sister? Yes. Why? Look, let us not judge. Let's hear out the situation and we'll do it. I, 20 female, have been letting my sister, 18 female, stay with me a while as she takes a year off before college. We've had our ups and downs. We disagree on politics mostly, but other than that, everything's been fine. Okay, sister's taking a gap year. There's a bit of a disagreement on the political spectrum. I'm assuming this is taking place in America. From what I've heard, Americans hold their political beliefs very strongly. I can see why there's a bit of friction there. Anyway, let's continue reading. Well, it was until I brought my boyfriend over for dinner when she was supposed to be at her friend's house for the night. When we walked through the door, I found my sister head to toe in a fursuit. Now there's a bit of context. I still don't think it is grounds to kick your sister out of the house. If this was communicated beforehand, right? It's like, hey, I'm bringing my boyfriend over. Could you go to your friend's house or whatnot? But to find your sister not only there when she should have been at our friend's house, but there in a full suit. Personally, I would be upset, but I wouldn't kick her out. I made my boyfriend stay in the kitchen while I pulled my sister into a room and started to freak out and ask her what was going on. She proceeded to yell at me, claiming I was homophobic and furry-phobic for not reacting positively to her. Oh, that is... How do you pronounce that?
Flocculent.
Flocculent. Having or resembling tufts of wool. Okay, so fluffy. Okay, got you. Fur outfit. Names were called. An unfortunate slur was thrown by her and it got physical. This escalated very, very quickly. Let's finish reading and then we can share thoughts. I told her that I personally did not want that inside my house at this time. I have a few personal issues with fursuits from back in high school, which is a whole other story. Anyway, all this to say, I can't help but feel slightly bad about the way I reacted. But my sister has completely changed ever since her pink and white tiger persona she calls bubblegum. I especially don't like the fact that she punched me so hard it knocked a tooth out. Oh no. I think OP pulling her sister in the room, that's good, but then crashing out on her, I don't think that's the way to go about it. I think how I would do it is just like, hey, I told you my boyfriend and I are having this time together. Getting physical and yelling, it's not great. I wonder what OP's history with fursuits is. Maybe that's why she crashed out on her sister. But you make no progress whatsoever by yelling, screaming, punching. Your sister's the asshole for doing all of that. But yeah, top comment, everyone is the asshole. You two definitely should not be living together. And also throwing out furry phobic is crazy. The sister needs to go outside more, and now that she's been kicked out, she's able to do that. Am I the asshole for having a room full of furry Vore? Off rip crazy. Insane. I, 32 male, have a wife, 31 female, who is currently 3 months pregnant. Oh no, no, please, God, no. Please don't connect Vore with the pregnancy bit, please, I beg. We've been sleeping in the same room ever since we got married 5 years ago. However, we are currently having a disagreement. So I'm a huge fan of Vore art. How can you type that out with like pure confidence? So I have pictures all over my room of furry Vore pics I found on NSFW websites. Now, this never bothered my wife until about 2 months ago. She's saying nowadays she's been put off by the Vore pics and wants them taken down. But this was originally my room and I've had Vore pics on the walls for the past 10 years. She's calling me an asshole for not wanting to take them down. Am I truly the asshole for something I can't control? I'm sorry, you can't control this? If you can't control it, it's an addiction. Oh, I am so utterly perplexed by this story. You've been having these pictures up for 10 years. Okay, never mind the whole Vore bit. It's no longer your room. It is a shared space. And the fact that you had to really be like, but this was my room originally. You're insane. This is insane. There's layers to this. It's not even like commissioned artwork, right? It is just random pictures you found on NSFW websites. You are a huge asshole for this. Top comment, it's not your room, it's the couple's bedroom, so yes, she should have a say in it. You're the asshole. This guy needs help. It's an addiction. You need to go seek therapy for that. Am I the asshole for expressing how I felt at a furry event? Off rip, not the asshole. So my friends and I went to a bar that was having a furry event, and we are not furries. We just went to check it out, and we expect to be there for only an hour or so before heading to another place that night. It was honestly interesting, and we weren't sure what to expect. It was fun seeing the different costumes and noticing how some were more realistic and others cartoonish looking. So far, so good. While others was super low effort, and others weren't even animals, they were super expensive looking costumes that I'm sure they just wanted to get their money's worth and wear it more than once. So we're chilling, having a good time. At this point, I've only had one shot and a beer. Feeling nice. When I try to get my friends to go dance, I tell them, hey, do you guys want to go dance on stage with the animals? I was clearly enjoying it a bit more than them because they didn't want to go dance. Then I blurted out, I feel like I'm at Chuck E. Cheese. Heads turned, death stares galore. It was at this moment I realized I fucked up. Am I the asshole for that? Imagine like being at a bar, right? And just going like, I feel like I'm at Chuck E. Cheese. Imagine like sitting across the room, right? And just hearing, I feel like I'm at Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, I don't think you're an asshole. I think you're very weird and possibly a furry as well. I'm gonna read out a couple comments. How loud did you blurt it that multiple people heard you in a crowded bar wearing fursuits? It's like a F1 car. That's hilarious. I know a couple furries, they would have laughed, not the asshole. Fun story. I think that's a very fun story. Am I the asshole for cheating on my wife because I was secretly a furry? Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. This is worse than last time. There is no excuse for cheating. If you are unhappy in a relationship, you say that, you get out of that relationship, but you don't cheat. And it's your wife as well. Oh my God. I'm so disappointed in humanity right now. My wife, 33 female, and I, 32 male, have been married for 10 years and have 2 kids together. Our marriage has its ups and downs, but we've generally been able to work through our problems. However, there's one thing my wife doesn't know about me. I'm secretly a furry. You've been married for a decade. You have 2 kids together. Your wife is not going to care if you're a furry. I've been a furry since I was a teenager, but it's not something I talk about openly. In fact, I've kept it a secret from everyone, including my wife. It's not a good look. It's such a small little thing. And when I found out my co-worker is also a secret furry, we started to bond over our shared hobby and eventually started an affair. Do you hate your wife? Do you not have any hobbies with your wife? One hobby and you started an affair with your co-worker. That is, I'm really not happy with this guy. We've been sneaking around for a few months now, and it's been great to have someone who understands my hobby and doesn't judge me for it. But the guilt is starting to eat away at me. I know cheating is wrong and I feel terrible for hurting my wife, but it's hard to stop when I have such a strong connection with one of the few people who understands me. Your wife is supposed to be the one who understands you, who no matter what is going to be there for you. How have you done this? Am I the asshole for cheating on my wife with my co-worker because we're both secret furries? We've been bullied for our hobby. What should I do? Would it be better to comfort her about it or not? Be open with your wife about this now. Oh no, no, no. Man, really? Cheating? Okay, let's read the top comment. Yes, you've never been honest with your wife about who you are and decided instead to violate your marriage vows and cheat. You're the asshole, 100%. No question. The only way you can be less of an asshole is to be honest with your wife about everything. Because she can leave you and find someone who respects you enough to be honest. Then you can just date your coworker without being a horrible husband. You're the asshole. Alright, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Bye bye.